Right then, good morning to everyone who's joining us on this fine Monday morning. Uh, I beg your pardon, it's actually Tuesday today, and it's not great news to wake up to simply because we have news coming in that FIFA has decided to ban the All India Football Federation. So that's the big news. What I'm going to try and address in this video is try and give you a bit of a backgrounder, as well as also tell you what it means for Indian football. This FIFA ban that has just come. This early morning. As I said, not great news to wake up to a day after we were all celebrating India's Independence Day. So, firstly, what does the FIFA ban do? So, um, uh, the one tournament that India has is in October. That's a very important tournament, which is the Under 17 Women's World Cup that India have the hosting rights to. And they are due to host that in October. So as of now, the FIFA ban means that India cannot host that tournament. That's the first jolt that is coming India's way because of this FIFA ban. What's the next thing? Uh, the other thing is that any matches that the Indian national football team plays now, they will not be recognized by the Asian Football Confederation or the FIFA, which is the governing body of football globally. So both will not recognize any matches that the Indian national team plays, whether it's the Indian women's national team, junior team, or the senior men's team. So those are two big areas of concern that have happened after FIFA decided to ban Indian football. Now, just to let you know how that ban has come about, and for that, I'll give you a bit of a background. So it all started. The last elections that All India Football Federation did was in December 2016. Since then, that's close to 6 years, there have been no elections that have taken place. So there was a PIL filed in 2017 challenging the 2016 elections, saying that, listen, these elections are not legal because they have not followed the sports code. Now, remember, India passed a sports code in 2011, and a lot of sporting federations signed on to that sports code, including the All India Football Federation, saying that they'll comply by all the rules and regulations of the sports code 2011. And so one of the challenges that were made in that PIL that was filed in 2017 is that Praful Patel cannot continue because he's already had two terms back to back. He's been there for more than 12 years in the AIFF, and he cannot continue because the sports code doesn't allow that. Now, because that PIL was filed and the matter was sub judice since 2017, that's why going forward the next 5-6 years, no elections took place. Praful Patel kept sitting as the president of the All India Federation, Football Federation, saying that, listen, the matter is being debated in court, so unless a verdict comes out of that, we cannot have elections. So he de facto maintained or remained the All India Football Federation president for all these years. Finally, the Supreme Court stepped in May of 2022 and disbanded the executive committee and also removed the president, that was Praful Patel, and appointed a 3-member committee of administrators led by Mr. Anil Dave, who's a former Supreme Court judge. And this committee of administrator, also there was Mr. Qureshi in that committee, and they were tasked with the responsibility of coming up with a new constitution of the All India Football Federation that is in line with the sports code. So the committee of administrators then worked on a few rules and regulations and have come up with a new constitution. A new constitution, that means a new set of rules that now the AIFF will have to follow, and under that elections will take place. Now, while the committee of administrators were working, FIFA took objection to it, because remember, FIFA's rule says that all sporting federations that come under it have to be independent. There should be no government interference. There should be no third party interference. Now, in this case, there is a third party intervention where Supreme Court has appointed a committee of administrators who are running AIFF, and it is not being run by a democratically elected group of people. So FIFA took objection to that, saying that this is against their rule. You must have a democratically elected committee looking after. So quickly find that. So FIFA representatives paid a visit to India in June. In remember May, the democratic the executive committee of AIFF was disbanded. In June, FIFA and AFC members came here. took stock of the situation and said, quickly have elections. We cannot have a government appointed or a court appointed committee of administrators working and looking after the AIFF. They gave a deadline of July to have the elections. Now, elections could not happen by the deadline of July, after which now FIFA has decided to ban Indian football. Now, why couldn't the elections happen? Why could the committee of administrators that have come up with new guidelines, a new constitution, why have they not been able to hold the elections? Now, for that, you need to understand that that matter has also been taken to court by the state association. So the new rules that the committee of administrators have put, a certain segments there or certain rules, the state associations are not happy about. There are many, but I'm just going to quote a few. One, they're not happy about this one clause, that anyone who is part or who will be part of the executive committee of AIFF can hold a position in any other sporting body. Now, so he cannot be part of the AIFF, All India Football Federation, and alongside wrestling association, badminton association, or whatever. He just has to be only part of the football association. Now, remember, a lot of state association administrators, they are all or not all, but a lot of them are also in state association of other sporting bodies. So now they will not be allowed. So they are not happy about it. That's why they're contesting it further in court and arguing against the new constitution. The other thing that the state associations are demanding, that there should be 5 vice presidents from each zone, so that all zones are equally representative. And the new constitution that the committee of administrators have made, there is no scope for any vice presidents to be there. So state associations are not happy about that also. The most important bit, or the biggest area of concern, or the sticking point here, is that the committee of administrators have come up with this new clause where they're saying that apart from the voting rights, now remember, when the elections happen, 36 states are allowed one single vote, and based on that voting, the new president, secretary, and various other office bearers are elected. Now, the new committee of administrators have also said that apart from the 36 votes of the state association, there will be additional 36 votes that will come into the election, and they will be based on 36 players, 36 eminent players, one from each state, will also have a voting right. So now suddenly you've got 72 votes instead of 36. So they're saying there should be 72 votes in total, and election should be based on that. 36 votes of each state association and 36 additional, one from each state, of one prominent player. Now, this is something that the state associations are not happy about. They're saying, no, only we should have the voting right, 36 of us. Why are you adding on one more player? And then there is a dispute about the word eminent. Who is the eminent player? And how do you decide which player is eminent or not? And a lot of other confusion. So basically, just to sum up the entire thing, I think it's got a lot to do with the state administrators or people who run the state association or even national association. They're power hungry. They want to keep the power in their hands. They don't want it to go to anybody else, whether it's a sports person or anyone else. The other thing is that they don't want to let go of their, now the new rule says that you can only be there for 2 terms of 6 years each, and after that you'll have to have a cooling off period. So more than 12 years you cannot continue in the executive committee, even at the state level or even at the national level. They're not happy about it because a lot of folks in state associations, whether they're secretary, presidents, they've carried on that position for years, and they don't want to let go of these plum positions, right? So these new rules, state association is not happy about. That is why the elections cannot take place. The matter is ongoing in court until the elections happen of the All India Football Federation. FIFA has said they will not lift the ban. Now, the silver lining in all of this is the ban can be lifted. FIFA has said it's not a permanent ban, but FIFA wants the elections to happen, and as fast as possible, the democratically elected committee should take charge of the All India Football Federation, and not any third party, like it is the case right now by this Supreme Court appointed committee of administrators. So this is just summing up the entire scenario, what the background was, where India is at the moment, and what the repercussions will be of the current FIFA ban. Thanks so much for joining. Don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today if you haven't already.